What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Monday, the Nasdaq is continuing to sell off. It is down just over 1.25%. Meanwhile, the Dow is hitting all-time highs. So how does that happen? What's that crazy split for? Well, what this tells me is that investors are not getting out of the market. They're just shifting their money in the market, okay? You've got good stimulus news that happened over the weekend, and all of the plays that were beaten down from the pandemic, everybody's getting out of those high-rise tech stocks and shifting their money over. So this is a natural process. I've been covering it for a little while. I'm also in it with you guys. I am taking a little bit beating on my portfolio, and I also will state again, this is a good time to reevaluate your portfolio and just to see how diversified you really are. If the Nasdaq's down 10%, 13%, and you're down about 40%, then there's a little bit of an issue right there. So we're gonna go over in this video stocks that I picked that are gonna be amazing plays that I believe for the rest of 2021 and 2022 for the long term for you guys. I also do wanna say that I said this before, I don't see us fully out of that correction quite yet, even though Friday was some good gains. I still see a little bit of consolidation and a little bit of a sell-off continuing to happen, which makes every good play on sale. So I hope you're having some money off to the side. You can continue to invest in dollar cost average down or add more to your positions that you're already up on. All right, so in this video, we're going to go over all of those stocks. I also do want to mention in my last video about AMC, I was wrong, which it's always great to be wrong in the stock market when it's in your benefit. I had predicted and thought that AMC was going to sell off a little bit come on Monday based on the May 4th meeting. However, I know it's not going to hurt us for the long term and for what we're here for, investing in AMC, but I figured it might just be a little bit of a shakeup on Monday, and it turns out we were up, I think I hit up about 16-17%. So it's always good when I'm wrong and it goes in the positive, because nobody's ever right 100% of the time in the stock market, guys. But let's get into this video. First off, let's take a look. Down at almost 1.5%. It's selling off pretty hard. Okay, we are off of the all-time high. I think it was 14,100, and we're still kind of almost hitting around that 10% down mark. I can see it kind of consolidating for a little while longer, guys. So hang tight. But let's go into some of the plays that I see that we're not inflated to begin with, okay? We're not overrun to begin with, all right? Now, the first one I'm going to mention, which is not even part of this I want to talk about, I should say, is NIO. NIO, I believe, was inflated, okay? I still do find that to be a phenomenal buy right now. It's going to finding that support of that $35, $36. I think it's a huge entry, especially because everything's going over to EV. However, I didn't want to put it on this list, guys, because that one I believe was a little bit overinflated, okay? All right, first one, let's get into this. AMD. It's been beaten down. This is a good, the 6-month chart. It's beaten down off of a high of 99, giving a 30% upside to this. Some of this stock and the next stock I'm going to talk about, okay, they're having issues with a chip shortage, okay, a semiconductor chip processor shortage, which, as we know, all shortages end. The toilet paper shortage that we had ended, okay, the hand sanitizer, the Clorox, all of those ended. All right, the only shortage that I'm still worried about is the ammunition shortage, okay? It seems like it's crazy hard to get ammunition. And if you do, you're paying like 5 times as much as it. So if any of you guys are crazy gun advocates, have some good sites, leave one in the comments down below. But in all seriousness, guys, the microchip shortage is there, and then this is starting to get beat down from it. It's a great play, especially because technology is going to continue to rise on this one. Next stock we're also going to talk about is Nvidia as well. Look at this. This is a great one, guys. I really want to point this out. This is a very strong support of around that 520 to 530, even 540 range. And we've breached below that, giving it a positive 10 to 12% upside in the future. Another very good play. And I really, really like looking at this 6-month chart, because right here, this shows very strong support and when it broke that, okay? Next one we're going to talk about is Crm Salesforce, which they continue to dominate and penetrate the corporate world, providing amazing software and technology for these companies, and everybody's going to slowly switch over, okay, to more of a cloud-based service, which Salesforce absolutely is the leader in. They are below theirs as well, 52-week high of 284. That's a great upside for you guys. So definitely keep this one on your watch list. Next one we're going to talk about, which I am insanely bullish on. This is one stock that I've held on for since I got back into it after I lost a lot of money in 2007, 2008. I got back into it in 2011, 12, and I've held this stock, added to my position ever since. It's going to continue to rise, and which is absolutely awesome news. As well as they might be, it looks like they get closer and closer to talking about a potential merger for their EV or autonomous driving vehicle, which is going to be great. Okay, Apple will continue to rise and outdo all of their competitors. A huge Apple bull. So great one to put on your watch list. It's at 116. It's reaching that low of a high of 145. Okay, so it's a great upside for you. Next one we're going to talk about, we're going to get out of tech, just to guys give you a little bit of a variety, because we got to talk about more about diversifying. So this is Wells Fargo. It's had a great run up since November, since the pandemic beat it down in that $20 range. All right, I added this to my portfolio because obviously interest rates were at a at the bottom, and there's no way else for it to go but up. Okay, so even though it's risen, I don't think it is, overextended. It has a lot of room to run. If you look at this 5-year chart, guys, this is what I talk about: solid support and resistance. It hung around that 46 to 50, got some spikes up here 2018, but it hung around pre-pandemic. It was at $54. That's a great upside. Also another one to be able to diversify, get a little bit out of tech as well. Okay, next one we're going to talk about, guys, is another one out of the tech sector, General Motors. Okay, it's had some great run up. Especially from pandemic, people weren't buying vehicles as much, kind of hurt them. It's had, like I said, a great run up, but it's still got some room to run. Okay, so people, or investors, I should say, are shifting their money away from those heavy EV stocks, such as Tesla and Nia, that were beaten down, and shifting them over to a little bit more of the fundamental. January and February are the slowest months for cars and truck sales. GM continues to dominate the truck industry, as well as they have, I think it's 30 EVs out by 2025. So I can definitely see this one continue to run a little bit longer for you. Next one we're going to talk about is Boeing. Okay, Boeing got absolutely crushed in the pandemic. Okay, this is another beautiful chart. Hung around between that 330 and let's say 360 mark for a long period of time, 2 years. Okay, and it had a huge dip down in 2020, and it's continuing to rise back up. This has a great upside. Another 40% play to put into your portfolio, and another diversifies as well. Next one I want to talk about in the healthcare, BNGO. I'm still bullish on Bionanogenomics, okay, because of their technology. Everything they announced at their symposium was really good. It got beat down a little bit while not being really, I would say, in that tech sector. Kind of they fall over into the healthcare sector. It was one of the stocks that was potentially speculative. Okay, so I see this $7 range to be a very good entry. It's off of a high, a 52-week high. It's over 100%, and that they continue to excel as a company and grow as a company from the management level all the way down, which is great news. So next one we're going to talk about, guys, is ABML. This is American Battery Metals Corporation. I talked about it's still a penny stock, and I'm not really bullish on penny stocks all the time, but this one I am bullish on the company because of their location. Okay, what they do is battery production, recycling, and mining for EVs. Okay, and they're located right in Nevada, 20 minutes away from Panasonic and Tesla. Which leads me to believe, especially with the battery recycling, we're not even at the beginning of the battery recycling. Once these EV batteries, need to get replaced and so forth, it's just, they're going to come in, and it's already up 25% since we talked about it. So keep this one on your watch list, definitely. Last one we're going to talk about, guys, which is a little bit, people are mixed emotions, is Palantir Technologies. Okay, so Kathy Wood had added more to her portfolio, one of her ETFs, and it actually had a price target somewhere. It talks somewhere around that $150 price range years down the road. I think this is a phenomenal long-term hold. Goldman Sachs had raised their price target to 34, which is already giving you a 50% bump. Right here, guys, strong support at that $22 to $27 range, which is, we're sitting at the bottom of that right now. Okay, we have 27, that's a 20% play, so it's awesome. Especially seeing this being able to continue to grow. It was crazy. I heard this the other day that oil is not the highest sought after commodity anymore. It's being able to data mining data and future forecasts and stuff, and that's exactly what this company does. So keep this one on your radar. I have it in my portfolio. This is definitely a long-term play, guys. A lot of I've talked about this on my channel before, is that some of my best plays in my stocks have been ones that I've just found in fundamental companies that are going to have necessities and demand for that in the future, okay? And just kind of letting these stocks ride out and do its thing rather than getting in and out of stocks. I still do day trade, I still swing trade, but this is one that I'm going to hang on to with for a long time. So guys, that is it for this video. Appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're watching, what you're trying to buy on sale right now, and I'll see you in the next one.